Yeah, the other question would be, and Kevin Stefanski played it down, is that non-throwing shoulder still bothering him? And I got to believe that's at least part of it. That would kind of prohibit him potentially from following through the way he likes to and kind of torquing the hips the way he normally does. And that could be a reason. And again, I'm playing amateur doctor and amateur quarterback coach, but that could explain for some of the struggles.
You know what? I'm going to say no on that, David. I'm going to say that the shoulder is not an issue. And one of the reasons why I say that, well, there are several reasons why I say that, but the number one reason why I say that is because Baker was actually overthrowing most of his passes. Now, if he were having a hard time getting the ball to the mark and of where he wanted it to go, then I would say, okay, he's in pain and he just can't throw as far as he usually does. Instead, he's throwing it over guys' heads, and that one to Kareem Hunt in the end zone was a rocket. I mean, that had way too much heat on it. So I'm just going to say no on the shoulder thing. I don't think that's it. So that brings us back to that it's got to probably be either just a really, really bad game by Baker, or he has some chemistry issues with some of his guys.
Fair enough. Fair to say, though, there are going to be games where Baker Mayfield has to go out and win the game. He hadn't had to really, at least the last three games. They need him to play well.
They absolutely need him to play well. Most of the time, when your quarterback has a clunker of a game like that, a 59.5 rating, no touchdowns, no interceptions, a lot of times when the quarterback lays an egg like that, you don't win the football game. That goes to show you how good the defense was in that game and how good the running game is. They're so lucky that they have so many other good parts of this football team. And also, I think that the Minnesota Vikings did not do themselves any favors either. I think Kirk Cousins, with a lot of help from the Browns defense, kind of went bad on his own. There were some drop passes on the part of the Vikings. Dalvin Cook had to leave the game with his ankle injury again. He was not himself whatsoever. Who knows what happens in that game if Dalvin Cook was the Dalvin Cook that we all know that rushed for 1,500 some yards last season. That's not the Dalvin Cook that we saw in that game on Sunday. He hobbled off the field. I didn't even think he was going to go back in the game. So I think that was a factor. I think the Browns were kind of lucky in some ways to get out of Minnesota the way that they did. And that was, of course, because of the excellent defense.